y'all really gotta be careful on who you listening to, because people will tell you iniquity begins in the soul, and that is a lie from the pits of hell. Let's get in this. Matthew 15, the Everyday Bible. Obey God's law. Then some Pharisees and teachers of the law came to Jesus from Jerusalem. They asked, Why don't your followers obey the unwritten laws which have been handed down to us? They don't wash their hands before they eat. Jesus answered, And why do you refuse to obey God's commands so that you can follow your own teachings? God said, Honor your father and your mother, and anyone who says cruel things to his father or mother must be put to death. But you say a person could tell his father or mother, I have something I could use to help you, but I have given it to God already. You teach that person not to honor his father or his mother. You rejected what God said for the sake of your own rules. You are hypocrites. Isaiah was right when he said about you, These people show honor to me with words, but their hearts are far from me. Their worship of me is worthless. The things they teach are nothing but human rules. Isaiah 29:13. After Jesus called the crowd to him, he said, Listen and understand what I am saying. It is not what people put into their mouths that makes them unclean. It is what comes out of their mouths that makes them unclean. Then his followers came to him and asked, Do you know that the Pharisees are angry because of what you said? Jesus answered, Every plant that my Father in heaven has not planted himself will be pulled up by the roots. Stay away from the Pharisees. They are blind leaders. And if a blind person leads the blind person, both will fall into a ditch. Peter said, Explain the example to us. Jesus said, Do you still not understand? Surely you know that all the food that enters the mouth goes into the stomach and then goes out of the body. But what people say with their mouths comes from the way they think. These are the things that make people unclean. Out of the mind come evil thoughts, murder, adultery, sexual sin, stealing, lying, and speaking evil of others. These things make people unclean. Eating with unwashed hands does not make them unclean. And also in another version, they replaced mind with the heart. And Jesus told us in another version, I believe it was King James possibly, or New King James, or NIV, or NLT, or CSB even. Let's pause it and find out. Yeah, here's CSB. It says in verse 18, chapter 15, verse 18, But what comes out of the mouth comes from the heart, and this defiles a person. From the heart comes evil thoughts, murders, adultery, sexual immorality, thefts, false testimonies, and slander. These are the things that defile a person, but eating with unwashed hands does not defile a person. That's Matthew 12:34 and James 3:6. And so we have to remember we've got a heart in the body and a heart in the mind. We got to keep our heart focused on Christ, because he already paid for the heart body at the cross.